going on, chat? Now we're live, finally. Okay, hold on. Oh, we still got Royce Cam up. That's good. I was making sure that we had, like, I was looking through it. I'm like, wait, yes, we got Royce Cam. Let's go. Good. Good stuff. At least you guys can see that. It's funny. Alright, while I'm here, how's everybody doing today? Not that voice crack. Is this my first stream of the new year, by the way? I totally forgot. I don't remember if this is my first stream of the year or not. First anything of the year, actually, for YouTube. Because I haven't done... Yeah, no, I think this is my first stream. First anything on YouTube. Because I don't think I've done much this year yet. Which I do need to change within these next couple weeks, because this semester is going to be very hectic. It's going to be very busy. God willing, we can get stuff done. I already know that this semester is going to be very hectic. So I don't know how YouTube is going to be for the next few months. God willingly, it goes great, and I can do some stuff. I know some things I already planned that I want to do this year probably can't happen anymore, or at least for a while. But hopefully I can get something going. So I still gotta make sure I plan things out, get some recordings out, all that types of stuff. I just gotta make sure I do that in time. But we're cool. Alright. I'll probably make an announcement about my uh my volume's good. I'll probably just make an announcement of just like what I'm gonna do going forward for YouTube, and just see where we go from there. But as of now, we'll see what happens. Let me just share this on Letterboxd as well. Perfect. That's good. All right. I think we're good. I think we can get started. I pretty much, this is every single, can I zoom this in more? Perfect. This is every single 2025 either movie I've seen this year or show that released in the year 2025. Any new movie or show that I watched this year that wasn't released in 2025 is not on this list. So stuff like Dexter, Good Will Hunting, When Harry Met Sally, Edge of Tomorrow. There might be, or like the OG Daredevil, like the Netflix one. Like that's not on here, but like stuff that came out this year, like Dexter Resurrection, Daredevil Born Again, Sinners, Superman, Thunderbolts, Predator Badlands, Utopia 2. That stuff that released this year is on this list. So I'm pretty much ranking every movie and show. And I did this earlier last year for my 2024 stuff. That was a huge list. I got to see if I still have the picture in the Discord. But that was a huge list. I think this list should be as big, if not a little bit bigger. And as each year goes by, I would love for that list to get even more bigger and bigger. But as of right now, this is how the list is. I'm not sure how this year's gonna go for me watching 2025 stuff because I kind of like I have to plan it out well because of this semester how busy it's gonna be. But yeah, right now I literally just started One Piece today because I wanted to catch up to the Netflix that's releasing this year, and I'm already started Walking Dead, so it's another one. What's up, Alter? How you doing? Aura indeed, I agree. But I know all the months that I know like each month like what I watched. Like I know for February I watched the first three here. March was Dogman to Love Hurts, I think. April was Minecraft movie. Was it? I think it was Minecraft movie, Cobra Kai Companion. May was Tales of the Underworld only because May was like lackluster for stuff I watched. Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning to Andor season 2 was in June. Rebirth to Fantastic Four was July. You season 5 to Eyes of Wakanda War August. Reacher season 3 to, was it Novocaine or Naked Gun? I think it was one of them for September. I think it was these three for September. I think Naked. No, did I watch them on the same day? Crap, I forgot. I watched one of them September 30th and one October 1st, so I watched them on the same day. I forgot. Let me check. Naked Gun I watched October 1st. Novocaine I watched September 30th. Okay. So Reacher season 3, Working Man, Novocaine was September. Naked Gun to Sinners was October. So I did a good amount in October, I remember. Hard Eyes to what? Hard Eyes to Killer of Killers was November. Smiley Friends to Stranger Things season 5's finale, or season 5 actually I should say, was December, and then Weapons to the Studio was January. Chad Powers is here. I added it. I thought I was going to finish it. I didn't finish in time. I already know where it's going to rank on here as of right now, but it's probably just going to stay here. Chad Powers I started. I think I literally started it this month as well, if not the end of December. And I only went 2 episodes in because I wanted to start a few other shows like Surveillance. I wanted to get that done with. I wanted to get the studio done with. So I'm like, I feel like those are more important to get. Oh, and Welcome to Derry. Like I want to get those done with quickly, and then Chad Powers I just didn't have time for. I don't know why my YouTube is glitching, but we can get started on this ranking because it's gonna be a long one. I don't want to keep anybody waiting. But the first movie I watched this year, first anything I watched this year was Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. And this released in the beginning of January, like the very, very beginning of January. And it was a lot of fun. I didn't watch it until mid-February. I'm actually going to rank it in A tier. I'm going to give it like a, let's say 8.5 out of 10. I liked it a lot. I watched a short. It was, I think, how long ago was it? I think it was like in 2023. Late 23 or 20. No, it was late 2023. They had their own short of this villain and again Wallace and Gromit, and it was a lot of fun. And then this movie pretty much takes place after that short. It's great animation, great characters. Again, these movies are really well made um, when it comes to like the claymation and everything like that. That's great. I love them about these movies. Villain is great. Um, Comedy. I mean, these movies, the company that makes them, I think, Aardman, great company, great humor, all that sort of stuff. This was definitely a great way to start off the year with 2025 projects. And again, to start off this year, watching Weapons was also great. I prefer Vengeance Westfall, obviously. But I think starting off. Well, actually, no, that doesn't count. What did I start off last year with? I think I rewatched. I think last year. What did I start last year? Dang, wait, what did I start last year? I think I rewatched Godzilla versus Kong, January 1st. Oh no, I rewatched Gladiator. Yeah, no, that was yeah, nothing's beating that. So, um, Gladiator is a great way to start off the year. I watched that January 2nd apparently, and then January 1st this year I watched Weapons. I mean, Gladiator was a rewatch because I want to see the second one that came out that year. So this is a great way to start off the year. I won't lie about that. Great way to start off the year. And Vengeance Most Foul being my first 2025 project, that was a great way to start off the year as well. I think my first 2024 film I watched last year was Gladiator 2. That's kind of because of what I did this year. Where like any last minute stuff I wanted to watch, I started. So that's what literally this entire row is like. All right, this is all the other projects I want to watch this year. These are like the main ones I want to get through. Let's get through them, and that's exactly what I did. Next up in the ranking is Paddington and Peru, the third movie in the Paddington trilogy, which is honestly the most disappointing one because the first two movies are really good, especially the second one. The second one's great. All those movies have a bunch of like heartwarming stories, messages, great characters, great development, great emotion. This movie pretty much has like the total opposite of that. And then one of the characters, I think it was the mother, pretty much gets recasted. It's kind of like, all right, you know, third movie didn't really need to exist. The second movie ends on like a good note, and then the third movie kicks off as if that second ending didn't happen, or like there's a movie missing in between, and it doesn't make any sense. I think out of 10 I gave it like a 6.3, 6.4, and it like 6.4, and it wasn't yeah, it wasn't wasn't great. It's Paddington. It has some, decent moments, but otherwise it was very disappointing, which is sad because the first two Paddington movies are great. I really wanted to like this one, and they're making a Paddington 4, but yeah, this one didn't really do it. I think it's gonna go in C. Yeah, it's gonna go in C. Not great, unfortunately. Just it didn't hit where it should have hit, which is unfortunate. My first 2025 TV show of the year, which is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, is next. This one, it took me a little bit to like it. I remember like the first half wasn't really the greatest for me, and then the second half took off and it was honestly like really solid, and I started to like enjoy it more and more. Uh, the animation takes like a bit to get used to. I'm actually gonna put it in B for right now. I think I gave it like a 7 out of 10. I just saw your message, Food. What's up? How you doing? This guy's takes are horrible. I've seen better reviews from a Barstool Tool Sports. I mean, Sonic 3 is literally peak S tier, yet you ranked it in the detail. You were just okay. Are you copying someone who saw my Sonic ranking? You have to. You have to. I think that's the point. But honestly, yeah, Sonic 3 was solid. I'm not gonna sit here saying it's like 5 out of 5. Sonic 3 was fun for what it was when I watched it, and I think I watched like a couple stuff before it. I mean, I rewatched the other two movies. No, I didn't rewatch. Yeah, I rewatched the two movies, and then I watched Sonic Prime. Was it? No, Sonic X. The anime. I remember that I watched that. It was solid. Sonic Prime I didn't have time for. Nah, I can't. I can just play an. Yeah, that's. That's true. But yeah, I mean, Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man, like when the trailers and promos came out, didn't do it for me. Animation didn't look that great. It was supposed to be a Tom Holland prequel series, like before Homecoming, and then they changed it because the Homecoming stuff that was very limited to what we knew. I can say though that the second half of the season was good, and if honestly season 2 and beyond could be as good, if not better, than the second half of this season, I think we're gonna have a really good Spider-Man show in the books as well. And to prepare for this, I ended up watching Spectacular Spider-Man for the first time, which is not on here because it's not a 2025 film or show, but it's great. Spectacular Spider-Man is my favorite. No, not my favorite. Probably top 3 favorite Marvel show, maybe superhero show too. It's just that good. I don't see anything beating, like any Spider-Man show beating that. So we're good. Actually, no, top 4 or 5 because of the Penguin. Bro never watched Sonic the Hedgehog 1993. I never watched any Sonic show except Sonic X and then some of the shorter ones, which I'll watch them eventually. I don't really care about them right now. I don't really have time for them. But yeah, pretty much all those comments on that one video, they pretty much had them. So, but that's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I think I recommended this to John. I think he started it, but I don't think he ever finished it. But I recommended it to him because I think he would like it. You know, in my opinion. So, you got Dogman, which actually, that's the next one here. That's the 3rd film on the list. I actually enjoyed this, and a lot of these. This is actually the first one of March. So these 3 I ended up watching and finishing in February. Dogman is the first one of March. I'm gonna put it in B tier above Friendly Neighborhood. Not sure if I'm glazing it a little bit, but Dogman was cool. I never read the comics. I never read the kids' books, but for what it was fun. It's honestly a solid DreamWorks film. It's definitely one of the better ones, which is interesting to say because DreamWorks has a lot of bangers. Like, this film might be outside of the top 20 just for how good DreamWorks is, at least in my eyes. Like, I prefer DreamWorks a lot. The animation, this was great. Comedy was fun, you know. And those Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies, I get reminded of those animated ones because this is how those movies should be. And they're the complete opposite. I mean, I have Last Straw right here. When we get up to like all the December ones, you'll get up to it, you know. I just got an ad on my stream. I'm gonna skip it. There we go. So, Dogman is definitely an interesting protagonist though, because he can't like speak. You know, he's not like a. You know, every movie, you know, someone's speaking, unless it's a silent film. Then they're not speaking. This guy doesn't speak. He barks. Bark, bark. Like, right, Royce? Yeah? Okay. He's sleeping. I don't want to I don't want to wake him up. Um, but it's cool. Honestly, it was, you know, not bad, I'll say. His origin's a little horrifying, the way it happens. It's kind of weird. But for a kids movie, they do it well, so it's not like it's nothing crazy. So that's that. And then we got our second show of the list, another one of March. This is Win or Lose. This is Disney Pixar's first ever television show, which actually was solid as well. I'm gonna put it in B tier as well. A lot of solid stuff so far. That's what she said. Of the year. This one actually wasn't bad. I'm surprised. I mean, ranked amongst Pixar stuff, just like Dogman with DreamWorks, it's good. It's not going to be that high. There's already another Pixar project on this list which is higher than it, which we'll get to later on in the stream. But Win or Lose was cool. I like that this one kind of like resulted around like a baseball team, you know, a bunch of stories within like this kids group and all that sort of stuff. It was fun. Animation was neat. I think what would be cool is if they want to do multiple seasons of Win or Lose, instead of making it repetitive, having the same baseball team, having the same kids, do different sports. Do different sports teams. It would be so cool just to do that. If you want to have cameos from like the baseball team or just like some sort of Easter egg, do it. I think that would be so cool If they did that, I'm not even joking. That'd be actually be pretty fire. That's just me personally. So I think that's great and honestly solid. Then you got Invincible. Invincible is really dang good. I love the show. It's one of my favorite superhero shows out there right now. I mean, it doesn't rank amongst the greats of Daredevil, Penguin, X-Men 97. It's probably around where, like, what was the other one I said? Spectacular Spider-Man is right now, but I prefer Spectacular Spider-Man. Invincible's great. It could be so much better without certain episodes, without certain filler episodes, which this season had. I'm not even joking when I say this could be top 3 TV shows of the year without, like, one of the episodes. I think it was episode 6 it was. And then there's a few episodes which were good. They were solid, but they could have been better with, like, a few more things. This was that. And then, of course, improve the animation every year, man, because honestly, seeing the same animation over and over isn't going to be the greatest thing. I prefer it over Vengeance Most Foul, which might be a hot take there, but I do. I think this is the best Invincible season, just slightly above Season 1. And I think that Season 3 finale is slightly better than Season 1's. Again, great stuff, honestly. Like, really great stuff there. So, Invincible Season 3, right now, is an A tier. And then going into... Okay, I actually realized that I watched Love Hurts before The Gorge. Right? Yeah, right? Did I? I mean, my diary didn't say that. Love Hurts I watched March 20th. When did I watch The Gorge? March 18th. Never mind. Oh, so I probably added it to my list. So never mind. Then we have The Gorge. Preferably, really like this. Gonna go in B tier again. It's solid. I'm pretty sure it's a 3-star average. 2.9. How? I mean, I don't know. Honestly, this was great. I liked The Gorge. Honestly, a lot of fun for what it was. Is it my first Apple TV original movie? It's either that. If Killers of the Flower Moon counts, then no. But not I pirated. If that doesn't count, then The Gorge would be my first Apple TV original movie. Not any Apple TV original. That would go to Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, which season 2 comes out this year. I'll be ready for it. I'm excited for it. The Gorge. Highly recommended for anyone that likes sci-fi, anyone that likes that sort of stuff. This has Miles Teller. It has Anna Taylor-Joy. So if you like them from other projects like Fantastic, Whiplash, I don't know why I said Fantastic, as if that's good. Anna Taylor-Joy's in Mad Max Fury. Not Mad Max Furiosa. She's in the Super Mario movie. Honestly, a fun mix of sci-fi and romance. If you have Apple TV, you might as well watch it if you haven't already. Just fun. I mean, honestly, I don't think it should have been a straight-to-streaming movie. I think it was a lot more funner than that. You know what I'm saying? Story with The Gorge is great. It's pretty much like these two military workers in like different towers to watch this gorge. Great sci-fi. It's fun. A lot of fun. Pacing, I remember, just wasn't the greatest. It kind of just like went by really fast. But otherwise, it was solid. So that's pretty much that. The next movie on the list is Love Hurts, and this is one of the more disappointing movies of the year. Like, overall, more disappointing. And I think for the year so far, it's probably second behind Paddington when it comes to disappointment. It's going to go in D tier. Depending on the rest of the stream, it might go down the bottom 5. We'll see what happens. It has a chance to. Again, we'll see. Love Hurts is just disappointing. I feel bad for the... I forgot his name. I know his name. Forgetting the... Ki Kwan. I feel bad for him. Because he's kind of just making his like acting debut more. Again. Just out there. He's trying to get out there again. This is just not great. He teams up with, if you guys seen Luke Cage, he teams up with the season 1 antagonist, Bushmaster, and one of the Property Brothers, because they make a cameo in this. He goes against Marshawn Lynch. Yep, Marshawn Lynch, and some other random guy in the movie. And Marshawn Lynch, if you know him as a football player, he has his beast mode line. He says it in the movie because, you know, absolute cinema right there. You know, you just had that peak moment. Again, just more of a disappointing movie. Not a great script. Story is very disappointing. Action was probably the only good thing about it, which even that wasn't really that great. Characters are very boring, very stale, very one-dimensional. Um, Otherwise, it honestly wasn't really that great. If anything, I could put it lower. It might be the bottom five of the year. Honestly, I gotta see how the rest of this rankings gonna go, but it's pretty low, which is unfortunate. But next movie on the list, which isn't gonna be that low, surprisingly, is the Minecraft movie, which I'm actually gonna rank it here, in between Win or Lose and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Honestly, I mean, as a Minecraft fan, it's my favorite game of all time. It's been like that ever since I pretty much played it for the first time as a kid. This movie is messy. Script is interesting, to say the least. I never seen a Jared Haas film before, which I would love to do a filmography watch for him when the sequel comes out for the Minecraft movie, or at least before it comes out. You know, visuals were completely like that was weird. I should have done a watch party for this. I realize I still haven't done a watch party for this. And if anybody's here, if you guys want to see a watch party for this, let me know. I'll do one before winter break ends. Because I haven't really been doing much for YouTube, which I got to change that this month with the next couple weeks. I just got to do more recordings and stuff. But honestly, it was fun. I had a fun time in the movie theater. I had a fun time just watching it, although the lore is definitely a little different. Uh, yeah, they definitely like take some stuff from Legends, Minecraft Legends. Uh, so that's interesting for sure, because since nobody played that game. Otherwise, it was fun. It had its humor, it had its cheesy moments, but it made up for it because the film itself is not trying to be serious. It's trying to be fun, and I enjoyed it. Next up, the next show on the list is Cobra Kai Season 6. Now, this one I'm only ranking part 3 because Netflix released in 3 parts, because they had to release 3 different parts of the final season within like half a year, which is ridiculously stupid. But, I mean, once you get up to Stranger Things, I mean, that's something else. And honestly, that rating deserves to be lower than what I'm going to give it in this stream. Cobra Kai Season 6, I'm only ranking part 3. If I rank the first 2 parts, it would be in B tier. If I rank part 3, it's going to be in A tier. And it's going to be at the top of A right now. Which is insane to think about for what this show is, how corny this show is, how cheesy this show is. But the final 3 episodes in part 3 are what this entire show should have been about. But it ended so well. It ended the show so well at how it should have been, because you would think the show would end in a way that it would be against, but it didn't. It ended in a really well way. I can't say the same about Stranger Things Season 5, unfortunately, but we'll get to that. And man, was it fun? It was fun. I liked it. Honestly, I really did. So, I just realized that wow, there really wasn't much TV shows after this until the summer. Season 6, Part 3 was good. That's a good version of TV. Can't say the same about Volume 2, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Companion is next. It's going to be at the top of B tier. It was solid. It's a January movie. Most January movies are pretty meh. This one is actually solid. I think the weakest parts of this movie is the characters. I remember I didn't really like the characters. Huey's in this. Jack Quaid, he's in it. He's solid again. Besides that, it's a solid thriller. It's a solid, technically counts as horror, which shouldn't really count as horror. It doesn't really feel like a horror movie. It feels more thriller than anything. But otherwise, it's solid. Like, I have no complaints about it. It's, again, characters. I mean, if the characters are likable, it would be up here, but can't stand them in this movie, so it's kind of just whatever. Tales of the Underworld is next. This is the first Star Wars project I watched for the year. I think the first Star Wars project to release this year, period. This is Tales of the Underworld, the third straight Tales of whatever show we got for Star Wars. Not sure if we're gonna get one next year because we have the Mall show coming out. I hope I said that right. We're getting the Mall show next year. If I had to guess, not sure when that'll come out, but not sure what we're getting for May 4th. Tales of the Underworld was solid again. I'm ranking in B. A lot of B stuff so far. A lot of just solid stuff going into it. I mean, the Asajj Ventress stuff was okay. The Cad Bane stuff I liked. It doesn't reach like the highs of Count Dooku, honestly. With Tales of the Jedi, but then Asajj Ventress is okay, but it doesn't reach like the lows of like everything in Tales of the Empire. Tales of the Empire was pretty mid. It wasn't that good. Moving on, we got Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, which is going to rank in C tier, which might be controversial to some, maybe not really to others, but it's one of the more weaker Mission Impossible movies. I didn't really enjoy it, which is unfortunate. I wanted to enjoy it, but with the way this duology was, this duology didn't need to happen. It didn't. Not at all. It didn't need to happen, and I don't know. If you've seen the Mission Impossible series, you would know that Fallout ended the series on a more perfect note than anything else we could have gotten. So the fact we got two more movies, which flopped in theaters, because why wouldn't they have flopped? Because why would people want to see this duology again? I'm sorry, that didn't make no sense. Why would people want to see this when Fallout already ended well? You didn't need that. You didn't need that, right? Again, they tried making their own Infinity War Endgame type thing, but they failed. The villain, Gabriel, sucked. The Entity isn't as, like, you know. The Entity's honestly better than Gabriel, I could say that, but it's I don't know how to describe it. It's mid. Sorry, it's mid. I can say that the visuals are great, production value is great, score is great. The stunts, of course, by Tom Cruise are great. The acting is, mostly great. But this film was a slow burn, which I don't mind slow burns. And this one, it kind of just does a whole exposition slow burn, like as if we needed to know everything. Like we saw the last movie, we don't need to know everything again. And it didn't explain things well. Luther got kind of wasted in this because the last movie he was like there for like 30% of it and then kind of just disappears. And then the director now in this movie has to write him in somehow. So they make him sick, off-screen sick, and then dies in a stupid way. Which, if they wrote that well, so as if he was already sick going into Dead Reckoning and that was built up for his character, and that happened, Final Reckoning would be a lot higher, and his character would go out on a very emotional note, and they ruined it in my opinion. They didn't really do it well. Again, I've always liked Ethan and Elsa, so trying to make things with Grace, someone who's trying to learn off of Ethan's ways, it doesn't really help. And I mean, if you read my review on Letterboxd, you would know my full thoughts. This is not really a movie I want to like really dig deep into right now, but it's there at C tier. Another movie that's going to C tier is Captain America: Brave New World. Unfortunately, mid. The trailers were actually appealing to me, but the movie itself wasn't really that great. I think a 2.4 on Letterboxd is insane. I think that's way too low. I think it should be like a 2.8. Like one of those ratings, like a 2.6, 2.7, 2.8 at least. Not a 2.4. That's 2.4 to me is like, it's literally 2.5. This was 3. But I ended up rewatching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which if I ranked that here, it would be where like the Minecraft movie is. This movie obviously was not better than it. It was solid though. Like I'm not gonna sit here complaining like, oh, that was horrible. Like it's a mid 3 stars, but it's not like the worst mid 3 stars I've seen. The film promoted Red Hulk like crazy, but he didn't even appear to like the final act. For what it was, this movie also didn't really have Captain America, Sam Wilson centered in a way. because this movie's trying to be a internal sequel. If you watch Internals, you would see why. It's trying to be an Incredible Hulk sequel for some reason, like over a decade and a half later. It's trying to also be a Captain America movie, which he doesn't really go through this big development or anything. So it's trying to be a few different movies into one, and it's not doing a good job of that. There's no clear identity, and Sam Wilson doesn't always feel like a main protagonist in his own movie. Again, villains aren't the greatest. You know, I would say standouts were Harrison Ford and Carl Lumbly, but like otherwise, it was just okay. Like obviously the weakest Captain America movie, and I think going into it, no matter if you like Sam Wilson or not, like you would know that it's gonna be like a pretty low rated movie for Captain America, for the Captain America films in general, and for me, it's definitely the lowest. I think they can definitely take some notes from this movie, how it performed not only in theaters, but just how the film was written itself. Take notes on how to make not only his character better in Doomsday and Secret Wars, but his character in the future of the MCU after that, if they get any more movies. And I've been saying this, I think Falcon and Winter Soldier should have been a movie itself. That should have been the first movie of the Captain America trilogy. This movie should have came in after, but obviously scripted differently, right? I don't really have any great ideas. I'm a beginner screenwriter, so that's something I would have to think of, but for the MCU, you could have done something better. This also had a really big production design. It didn't always look that way. But the gray coloring, the green screens, it didn't always look that way. But what I can say is the next thing on this list, TV show, literally the top 5, top 3, top 2 TV shows of this year. And if I change this top 5 list to like top 6 or 7, 6, 7, like this would be up there. Andor season 2 is next. This is for season 2 only. It's not for the show itself. It's for season 2 only. It's going in A tier. Yeah, definitely above Cobra Kai. Literally, if I didn't watch Dexter at all this year, if I didn't watch Dexter Resurrection, this would have been the best TV show released this year. It would have managed to reach the top 5, which we'll get to Dexter Resurrection when we get into it. Just like season 1, the first half is a slow burn, and I honestly prefer season 1's slow burn over season 2's. I think the first 6 or 7 episodes of season 1 are better and are a tiny bit more entertaining than season 2's. But when it comes to the second half of the season 2 rocks season 1 out of the water. Season 1 is a great second half. Amazing second half. But season 2 is like 10 times better. With its build up, with its story, with its characters, everything about it is great. And if the first half of Andor season 2 is like that, this show would be the top 5. Honestly, it would be probably the best show of all time for me. No, okay, that's a little too far. Would definitely be like top 3 or 4 show of all time for me. Definitely best of this year for sure. But again, it just has a slow burn and it has you so unfocused sometimes. So, other than that, it's great. Great season of television. Still my best and favorite Star Wars show, even though it has like it has its stuff with its slow burn, with its certain characters that I'm not huge on. But otherwise, it's one of the best this year to release. So that's great. So I just realized I didn't mention what was I did mention what was February. March was Love Hurts, Dogman, The Gorge, Win or Lose. No. Win or Lose. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. Love Hurts, Dogman, The Gorge, Win or Lose, and Friendly Neighborhood. Spider-Man was in... No, I'm sorry. Not Friendly Neighborhood. Love Hurts, Dogman, Gorge, Win or Lose in March. April was a Minecraft movie, Companion, and Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3. Oh, Invincible was also in March as well. And then May was Tales of the Underworld. And then June was Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning, Captain America Brave New World, and Andor Season 2. July is Jurassic World Rebirth all the way up to Fantastic Four First Steps. All movies. Oh, great. All of them are more popular movies of this year. So now we're finally getting into all the July stuff. Jurassic World Rebirth. I did a marathon of all the Jurassic World movies, all 6 movies, now 7 with Rebirth. As you can see what I did there. And Rebirth was honestly, seeing how Jurassic World movies are, was one of the more better ones, but definitely one of the more disappointing ones of the year. It's going to be at the end of B tier, which I still can't decide which one's better here. I prefer the Minecraft movie more. Honestly, I think I prefer Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man more right now. Rebirth was solid, but for how big it was, disappointing. Different dinosaurs we got, great visuals we got, the actors we got, disappointing. The story itself wasn't even like that great. Like, it honestly gave me Jurassic Park 3 vibes again, which isn't great because I didn't like the third Jurassic Park. And I don't know. There's so much I could be saying. Like, the visuals and CGI were great. It's obviously one of the best looking films in the franchise. Practical effects, they kind of return to that, where they use a mix of practical and CGI. The action sequences are great. I remember they did the T-Rex river scene, which was ripped straight from the book. I never read the book, but if I read the book and was a fan like that, I'm sure I would have loved the scene. The mutant, which I did love the scene anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The mutant dinosaurs are great. I think they're different, and I just also love seeing a little more historically accurate dinosaurs. It's definitely solid for a summer blockbuster, but overall as a film, it's just, it's a little lackluster. It's a little underwhelming. The plot, the writing, the characters are all pretty much meh. They're pretty much just not that great. There's also a family subplot in here. You have the main plot, and you have a family subplot. And there were times in this film where the family subplot was more entertaining than the main plot, which is insane to say, but it was kind of true. Otherwise, it's a little generic, the film itself, and it wasn't amazing, but it's going to go at the end of B tier. Next is Superman, and that is the first film to be in the top 5 of the year, and spoiler alert, it's going to stay at the top. Superman, without a doubt, is the best movie of this year. There has been no other movie on this list or show to come close to Superman. I love everything about it. Everything. Story, the acting, the characters, the development, the way Superman is finally portrayed as the hero he should be. And anything like visuals, of course, are great. The pacing itself is great. It's a very enjoyable movie. It kicks you into this DC universe without giving you another origin story. Which, again, I think for this version of Superman, it also would have been nice to get an origin story. But I'm not going to criticize that. And again, I think for people who don't really know these DC characters that well, which I'm technically one of them, it's kind of weird just to see, like, who are these people? Who are them? Who are they? Are we going to get origins? Are we going to get flashbacks to them or not? But this is Superman's movie. It's a great origin for him. It's my favorite Superman movie. It's my favorite DC movie. It's my favorite superhero movie. It's my favorite comic book movie. You name it. I could definitely see why some people don't give it 5. But for me, it's a 10 out of 10. There's no going wrong with it. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. It's great. Definitely for new people who don't know all these DC leagues, all these DC characters, it's going to be a bit hectic for a origin story in a way, or for a beginner. Yeah, for an origin story or for your first Superman movie. But otherwise, it was great. And again, this is not a movie I would watch first. Like, if you want to get into Superman for the first time, this is not the first movie you should watch. You should watch some of the other ones, or at least the 90s animated show. So at least you know his origin, and you know how a character should be portrayed. And then you go into James Gunn's Superman, and then that's something else. Like, man, that's great, Next up is Thunderbolts. You know what? Screw it. Top 5 of the year as well. I watched them back to back.
like back to back, movies I watched. Great stuff, both movies, and it's like I still don't know why Thunderbolts flopped. I still don't know why. I still can't get my mind wrapped around the thought that Thunderbolts flopped. It's not 5 stars, and if anything, it probably shouldn't be like a 9.4 out of 10. That's what I gave it. Like if anything, like I think I could lower it a tiny bit if I feel like it. I prefer it over Fantastic Four, although they're both great in their own way. This is a great superhero team. I never read the Thunderbolts comics. I never even seen the DC squad with Harley Quinn. I know the name, I'm just not saying the name on stream. I never seen that movie. I've only seen the old one, which was trash. I never seen the new one. And even people who love the new one say this is better. And I might be saying the same thing. I don't know yet because I haven't seen that movie. So I can't make my opinion over that already. I haven't seen it. When I see that movie, we'll see what I think. Like if I think it's better than Thunderbolts or not. Depends. Thunderbolts, I think, was great. Great team. I love Elena, Sentry, Bucky, uh, John Walker. Everybody there is great. I think there's a couple characters in that team that got sidelined more than others, which shouldn't have been the case. Bucky, for example, worked fine because we've seen him since the beginning of the MCU. Ghost, a little underused since we haven't seen her since Ant-Man and the Wasp. We don't really know how much she's been doing. She's also, kind of moved away from being a villain. And this movie, she's not a villain, but she's kind of like an anti-hero in this. But she still does her stuff. Like, she still works for Val. So, it kind of, like, gets you thinking, like, did they ruin her character in a way? I don't really think so. Red Guardian was also kind of silent, but he was, like, the emotional core of this movie. John Walker was great. I think I liked him a lot more than what he was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I think was a pretty solid or decent MCU show. Again, Lena was great in this movie. Best portrayal I've seen of her character so far in the MCU. And Sentry was great. I think my only complaints, besides a couple characters being a little underused, I think Sentry should have learned to use his powers a little more in the movie. And there's also flashbacks for Val in the movie. There's only one. And I don't know if there should have only been one, but I remember when watching the movie, I felt like I needed to see more. And I didn't really get to see more. It's just that one flashback, and that was it. So that was pretty much it. But otherwise, it's a great movie. I'm still surprised it's still top 5 of the year for me. But we'll see how this ranking goes. Leo and Stitch. Like how he said, like Superman and Thunderbolts are the more the better movies of the year. Thunderbolts were more the surprising ones of the year. Leo and Stitch was one of the more disappointing ones. And it's going to go in D tier. It's one of the worst live action Disney movies I've seen. It's one of the worst Disney movies I've seen in general. Which is sad because the original movie, like if I ranked it on this list, it's in the top 5 easily. And I rewatched it finally this year. And I love the original movie. The original movie is just such a good, heartwarming story. Great characters, great all that stuff. This movie almost does like the exact opposite. And it's so sad, dude. Like, they have to stop with these live action remakes. If you're not going to have the same heartwarming message, the same tone as the animated movie. If you can't replicate that, and you go so far as to ruining the animated movie in the live action form, you're doing something wrong. This movie pretty much does that. In pretty much every way. The only thing I could say, the Stitch CGI was great. The main protagonist that plays Lilo, she was good in her role. I'm not going to complain. It's a kid, playing it. But, like, the way the other characters were portrayed, very sad. Like, compared to the animated movie. And just the way the movie ended up just being, it just changes the whole message, the whole story in a way that just makes it worse. And it didn't really work out. It definitely didn't work out for me. So unfortunately, Leo and Stitch is going to be in the D tier. And I don't think it's bottom 5 of the year. It's more one of the more disappointing movies of the year, but it's not bottom 5. Fantastic Four First Steps is next, the final movie of July. And this one was solid. I'm gonna rank it in A tier, right there in between Andor season 2 and Cobra Kai season 6 part 3. It's a great movie. Definitely gives you some of those old Disney vibes. It's a great family movie. I don't think it's the best Marvel movie of the year. I think that goes to Thunderbolts. Fantastic Four was fun though. I won't lie. It's fun. I think it's the best Fantastic Four movie or any Fantastic Four, entertainment product out there. Like, I think it's better than the 90s show that I watched this year. I think it's better than the 90s Silver Surfer show I watched this year. Again, way better than all the movies. Again, I think this crew, this cast is great. I love their dynamics. I love their moments. Do I think they hit as hard as the early 2000s team? They're close. I slightly prefer the 2000s team, for some of the roles. Like Chris Evans, I mean, that's pretty much hard to replicate. But, like, in this movie, I think Sue Storm's done better. I think I compared the Mr. Fantastic of both movies. I think the 2000s Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic, he does more, like, when it comes to, like, strength and battle and action. Whereas Mr. Fantastic in the new movie we see the more intelligent side of him and less of the strength side. I think CGI was great. I think they did more practical as well, but great. And again, the post-credit scenes for both Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four were great. Great leading up to Doomsday, especially Fantastic Four's, dude. Oh my goodness, dude. That was so good. I love seeing Doctor Doom. I can't really say the same for Brand New Day. That was, kind of mid. But otherwise, it was great. Another movie that's going to be bottom 5, which we'll get to. I got another show to talk about before we get to that. That's You Season 5. I've watched the You show for the first time this year. I started in April and finished it in August. Season 1 was solid. Season 2 was also solid. Season 3 and 4 is where the show takes a big dip in quality, especially Season 3. Season 3 is horrible writing. Season 4, the first half, is kind of like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure they both have the same ratings too. Season 4, the first half is a bit rough to get through. The second half is a lot better to get through. Pretty much how Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was, but I think I prefer Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man more. I gotta check my list on CRLS where I rank every TV season. Season 5 kind of like takes us back to some of the good that the first 2 seasons have, but also some of the mid the 2 seasons before it had. So it kind of ranks in the middle. It's kind of like in the middle of everything. I think it's better than Tales of the Underworld. I don't think it's better than The Gorge. I think The Gorge is slightly better, which is definitely a hot take there. But I don't know. I do prefer it. The show itself is kind of just solid. Like, it's kind of average. Like, I'm not going to sit here saying it's great. It's not as good as Dexter. Like, I think when I literally finished this show the same week I started Dexter. And I think that was like a last minute decision I made about Dexter. Because Dexter I wasn't really planning to watch. So that I wasn't really planning to watch. I think I put it on because I'm like, wait, Resurrection is doing really well. It's another 2025 show. I think, honestly, starting Dexter, as much as I love it for what it was, it did take me away from some of the other movies and shows I want to watch this year. A few, not a lot. And it definitely made me a little inconsistent in some of the stuff I was watching. But otherwise, it was good. And Fantastic Four ended all the stuff I watched in July. You Season 5 is starting all the stuff I started in August. And speaking of the first movie I started in August, War of the Worlds, I can say without a doubt this is the worst thing I've seen in my life. Not just of the year, but in my life in general. For movies and shows. This was horrible. And I don't even want to waste my time going into it. And seeing the trailers for something like Mercy gets me worried, and do not hate me for this. Because this movie is behind like a freaking computer screen and Ice Cube making the most $1 million reactions of all time. Mercy gets me a little worried because it's almost behind a camera screen in a way if you're looking at the trailers. But I don't think Mercy's going to be bad. I think it's going to be all right. I think it's going to be solid. I'm worried about Mercy getting hate, or if it uses AI in a way, because the movie is centered around AI. So that gets me a little worried. especially what people are gonna think. Because also, I like Chris Pratt, I like Rebecca Ferguson. And it's gonna be so much fun to see them on the screen together, but it makes me a little nervous. War of the Worlds, I'm not gonna get into. It's a big waste of time. How to Train Your Dragon is next, and I rewatched the first movie. I haven't seen that in years. The second and third movie I ended up watching for the first time, so I ended up pretty much completing the trilogy, which is easily one of the best DreamWorks trilogies of all time. It's gonna rank between Fantastic Four and Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3. This is how you do a live action remake. Miles better than Lilo and Stitch. I think it's slightly better than the third movie of the trilogy. It doesn't. It's not better than the first two. Arguably, probably worse out of all four of all three, technically, because it's the animated trilogy. It's kind of hard to replicate that. But this movie, I liked. I liked it. Castings were honestly pretty solid. Story itself, it's literally a one-on-one recreation of the animated movie. So that's pretty much that. So visuals were solid. Action was solid. Again, everything about this movie was solid. It was one of the more better movies of the year, which is surprising because, again, it's a one-on-one recreation of the animated movie, but it's solid. Before I get into anything else, I do need to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. But this is a good ranking so far.
All right, I'm back. My fault, y'all. All right, let's get back into it. Born Again is next, and again, I actually technically started Daredevil season 1 at the end of 2024. Same goes for Jessica Jones season 1 and Daredevil season 2. I think Luke Cage season 1 also counts for 2024, like stuff I watched then. But then the rest in January, pretty much from January through May, pretty much wrapped up the rest of the seasons for Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Punisher, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and then in January I also watched Defenders. And then it took me a while to get to Born Again, and I don't know why I took long to get to it. I think I just didn't have time to, or I wanted to watch other things in the meantime. I don't even remember. But in August, I decided to go to it, because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to wait this long to watch Born Again. And so I watched it. And it was solid. Again, it's kind of like How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, How to Train Your Dragon, I think it's better than the third movie, just slightly, but not better than the first two. Born Again is not better than the first 3 seasons, but it's solid. It's not horrible. It's not like some of these old shows that bring back new seasons and the new seasons suck and the old show is obviously superior. Like, this isn't even that bad. Like, this is very solid. I'm going to rank it at the end of A tier, which might be a bit too much for Born Again, so I might lower it. Actually, I'm going to... Yeah, no. Yeah. I think I know what I'm going to do for B tier. Okay, if I'm going to do that for B tier, there's going to be a lot for B tier. Unless I split it up. Let me make one more below this. C, D, E, mid. So this is going to be green. I want to change this up for a second. Blue. Purple. I'll lower these 3 down. Because I don't think Daredevil Born Again is an A tier show. Not at all. This season pretty much went through production hell. A bunch of reshoots. I don't know why I said reshirts. I don't know what I was trying to say. Reshoots. That's what I meant. You can tell, like, some episodes are meant from reshoots. Some were meant for the original boring, bland storyline, whatever they were going for before. And yeah, you can tell based off of that, that's what they're going for. I might raise up, I might raise these 2 to C. Yeah, no, I'm going to raise them to C. Yeah, that's fine. I think I like this. This is solid so far. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it does not live up to the first 3 seasons of Daredevil. Now, the reshoot stuff was good. Now going into season 2 and beyond, they have what they're going for. There's no stupid reshoots. There's no bad writing. There's none of that. The writers know what they're writing about, and I'm excited for Born Again season 2. I'm going to watch it in March or April when it releases. Don't know yet because I got to organize my 2026 schedule. I'm probably not going to watch it right when it comes out. I'm going to watch it with someone. So we got to wait and see. But otherwise, it's solid. Eyes of Wakanda was the worst show of the year before I watched another one later down the line. It's D tier. Unfortunately, it's just another Marvel movie that isn't like... It's weird. It's disappointing. It's not horrible, but it's like we did not need it. It adds 0
to the MCU. And now on Disney Plus, when you go to Disney Plus, you have to, when you want to watch the MCU in timeline order, this is like the first one there. Is this something you like? If someone told me you don't need to watch Eyes of Wakanda, or it's like it's not canon, I'd be like, okay. Like if I didn't know anything about it, like I wouldn't even know that like that's canon. Like it doesn't even matter if it is or not. It adds nothing to Marvel. It adds nothing to the MCU. Not that it's bad or anything. I love Ryan Coogler's projects. I love the first two Black Panther movies. I love Sinners, which we'll get up to. Can't say the same about another show on this list. But I like his stuff. I don't know if Eyes of Wakanda, I don't know if he was behind that. But this was just okay. Like, animation wasn't really that great. The stories weren't really hitting. I guess, cool to see another Iron Fist. But otherwise, it was pretty mid. Reacher Season 3. And I watched Reacher for the first time this year. I'm not sure if I overrate these seasons just a hair. Just because I enjoyed them more. I know sometimes the show can be a little exposition-y. But I enjoy this show a lot more than people think, honestly. My season rankings are definitely different from others as well. Like, if I had to rank the seasons, I think Season 2 is my favorite. Then it's Season 3, which is this one, and then Season 1. But they all had, like, a solid story, solid group of characters, solid action. Like, action's honestly probably one of the more best parts about it. Visuals are great, in my opinion. That's just me. Reacher Season 3 is going to go in B tier. No, it's going to go in A. Yeah, it's going to go in A. It's good. I liked it. I'm not going to sit here saying, like, it's a masterpiece of a show. Like, no, it's obviously not. But I like it. I'm not going to sit here complaining about it. I like it. It's enjoyable. But that's going to start off September with two other movies. Working Man, which I'm going to put in E tier. I barely remember anything about this movie, but it's just very generic. Like, this is the same guy that made... I don't know if it's the same guy that made it, but there's The Beekeeper that released the year before, which if I ranked it here, would be end of C, early D, and then whenever the sequel comes out, I'm going to rewatch it and update my rating, which it probably shouldn't be as high as it is. This was very generic. Like, I can't tell you anything good about this movie. Like, action's fine, but like otherwise, it's like a D tier movie. Like, do you really need to see it? Like a D tier action movie. Like, do you need to see it? No. Like, I don't need to see it at all. I think a few days later, or like a day later, I ended up watching The Raid by Garth Evans, because we're gonna get to Havoc soon. That was a lot better. That was great. That is very gory action. I didn't see The Raid 2 because I didn't have time for it, and I constantly pushed off the duology for a while. Sometime this year, I should probably get to Raid 2, but as of right now, not at the moment. And then we have Novocaine, which is going to be very interesting where I rank this, because I enjoyed this, and I preferred it more than Companion. That is Star Wars Visions. This is not what I'm looking for. Where the heck did that rank? I think it ranked there. Novocaine, B tier. Yeah, Star Wars Visions is not B tier. I'll tell you that when we get up to it. Novocaine, I liked it. It has a 3-star rating, but it's fun. And in my opinion, I prefer it over Companion. Enjoyment-wise, and obviously even story-wise. And there's a part of me that can understand why some people gave it a 3-star average. But it was fun. It was fun. No complaints. I ended up watching these back to back. But this was September, this was October. Not back to back, but like one day I watched Novocaine, the next day I watched Naked Gun. Naked Gun I gave it the same rating. I prefer it more than Novocaine. I had more fun with it. So it's going to go there. I think both movies are fun. I, again, might be glazing them a little bit too much, but they are fun comedy action movies. They have their thing. Liam Neeson's actually in a good movie for once, in recent times, so that's good for him. Otherwise, it's very absurd too. If you're not a fan of absurd humor or the absurd jokes they make in the movie, it's not going to be for you. But it was fun. But that's going to start off the October stuff. And continuing it is Marvel Zombies, which this is the best Marvel or MCU TV show to come out this year. And in a while, I mean, Born Again was pretty good as well. This one I'm going to give... I know it's literally right below Reacher Season 3 with a rating. But as of right now, it's going to be the top B tier. I've been thinking about this ever since I finished Marvel Zombies. But I do believe... It's kind of hard for me to rank it. I think it should be lower than what it is right now. Don't have plans to rewatch it, but I'm not sure if a low to mid 4 star is the right rating for it. But otherwise, it was a lot of fun. I can't really complain about that. It was good. And that was the first TV show done in October. Or TV season. Reacher was the first in September. Actually, first and only TV season in September. For 2025, I mean, not in general. In general, there would be a lot more. Then we have The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. This is actually the first theatrical movie for Looney Tunes and premiered in many film festivals in 2024. But it released in the US in 2025, so it counts. It's going to go in between Companion and Dogman. Same things happened with Vengeance Must Vow and Eyes of Wakanda. Not Eyes of Wakanda, Paddington, Peru, and Vengeance Must Vow. They released in 2024 in Europe, but I'm going based off of what released in 2025 in the US. They released in 2025 in the US, so they count as 2025 movies to me. They do not count as 2024. The movie itself was fun. What can I say? It was fun. My question is, do I prefer this over Dogman? Actually, no. Dogman. Yeah, I was gonna say. It's good. Very funny movie. Like, and I think you kind of get that with like Looney Tunes stuff. Like, they can be very funny at times, and this had some great humor in there. Animation was fun. I mean, it's kind of like traditional animation, but it was good for what it was. And that sort of stuff. Story was solid. I mean, there's nothing really much I could say. It was fine. Happy Gilmore 2 was going to go with C tier in between Mission Impossible and Brave New World. This wasn't as entertaining as I wanted it to be, which is unfortunate because I enjoyed the second movie. I'm sorry, I enjoyed the first movie. This movie wasn't horrible, but there's things in it where it's like you bring back a movie or a show after so many years, there's gonna be so many flaws in it compared to like the original, and this movie is a clear example of that. It's very mid. From what a lot of people said, it's very mid. I think that's why I wanted to watch Duology, which the first movie would be in B tier. Second movie can't reach those heights. And even with like the high 3-star I gave it, I think that's glazing it a bit too much in a way as well. I mean, besides some of the comedy is very Gen Z, it's very modern. It's like so 2025 based, it's not even funny. I think the only other movie that does that later down the line that feels like that is Karate Kid Legends, and you're gonna see like a very similar pattern there. But Happy Gilmore 2 is in C tier. Another movie in C tier is gonna be Havoc. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Garth Evans, man, finally came back to the film industry. I enjoyed The Raid. I didn't get to see The Raid 2. Finally went to it. It really is a Netflix original, released in April. Just disappointing again. Like, this is from the guy that made The Raid duology, and it has those highs with the action, but like everything else about it is just mid. Story, the writing, visuals weren't even that amazing. The characters were mid. The ending I didn't really like. Just feels so like it ends so abruptly, which we'll get to another movie in this list, aka FNAF 2, which ends the same way.
Otherwise, it's
Yeah, it's very like it's interesting.
Next movie on the list, which I'm pretty sure I watched these two within like the same day or so. Is gonna be Long Walk, which honestly, just go ahead and say it, top 5 of the year as well. It's so. Oh, what's up, Adrian? Oh yeah, all those got released in 2025. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I watched this year, and then in general, there's not even like half of it. There's just a lot. How you doing? A Long Walk was really good. It's like a dystopian America. It's like this group of men, this group of boys, have to go on one long walk. You can't stop at all. You can't eat. You can't sleep. You can't poop. You can't do any of that. You can't stop. And if you stop, you get shot. You kind of have like 3 like chances, but there's always something that's gonna happen to someone because they're literally walking for like 5 days straight without eating, without any of that sort of stuff. Especially if you're not used to it, it's not gonna be great. And it's a very life or death situation in that movie. It's just so well done. And I don't follow politics. I think this is from. I don't know if they're. I don't think they're trying to be political in this movie. I don't think so, which is nice. So, there's another movie in this list that does, but damn, I get cooked immediately. That's crazy. Adrian, you would win. You would be the last one standing. You would win. Don't worry. I believe. I believe in you. I believe in you, Adrian. I believe in you. But Long Walk was definitely one of the best of the year. One of the most surprising ones because I wasn't planning to watch it. And when I did, I was shocked. Because I didn't even see the trailers. And I don't know if that's something I should be doing. Just don't watch trailers. Just go straight in blind and watch it. And I did that for this movie. It was great. Good Boy was the other one I did it for. Unfortunately, not as great as I wanted it to be. I think it's... this is going to suck when I rank it, but it's going to be here. It's an indie film following a man and his dog. It's a horror movie. The dog was the best part of the movie, best actor of the movie. Might as well give him an award. Everything else about it was alright. Like, it wasn't, like, amazing. It's short, so it does kind of rush through things quickly. Otherwise, it was fun. Nothing much to say there. Rebuild the Galaxy was the other 2025 TV season I watched. I mean, there's nothing much to say here either. It's going to be kind of weird to rank it ahead of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but my ratings are like 1 apart, so it's going to rank there. It's solid sequel series to the other Rebuild the Galaxy show that came out the year before. I mean, they're both kind of okay. I think this is slightly worse, but it was alright. Again, Lego humor is great. Had its fun, all that sort of stuff, so it's going to rank there. Sinners, the final movie I watched for October. This movie I watched on Halloween. Whew. This was great. I don't think it's top 5 of the year, but it's going to go in 8th tier. I'm going to rank it between How to Train Your Dragon and Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3. Great stuff. I think a lot of stuff about it was great. I couldn't connect with all the characters, but like everything other than that, and I think a little bit of the first half drags a tiny bit because you gotta make sure you're in. You gotta get hooked by that story in the first half. If you're not, either way, the second half is great, so you should be fine. But this movie is good. I like it, and horror isn't like my favorite thing to watch. Might be my favorite thing to film for YouTube, like FNAF, but like favorite thing to watch, no. Action, I think a combination of action and horror is great. And I don't really like vampires, but again, this was good. I liked it. Then you have Hard Ice, another disappointing one of the year. I'm gonna rank it in D tier, although I don't know if it deserves to be in D tier. I think it was fine. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not horrible. This is one of the few movies I wanted to watch early this year. I think this, Mickey 17, Electric State, and Foundation of Youth. I wanted to watch them all earlier in the year. I didn't even get to watch Foundation of Youth, but it's whatever. Those are the 3 I did. This is okay. It's an okay slasher. I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing amazing. You know. I feel like I need to get water soon. But yeah. I mean, I'm trying to remember. I can't really remember well. It's a little weird movie. It's a cheesy, corny movie. It's a solid first slasher. I like that we've been getting like different holiday slashers. Like we got one for Thanksgiving a few years back. Now we got one for Valentine's Day. I would love to see a small leprechaun like John in, a leprechaunish slasher. Like that'd be pretty cool. Otherwise, I mean, Hard Eyes was fun. Can someone clip that, by the way? Because that was freaking hilarious, the way I just said. And there's nobody here. What's up, Dustin? Someone clip what I just said. But the leprechaun, that was funny. Anyways. Then we got John Wick Ballerina. The John Wick movies are great. I don't think there's a single bad John Wick movie. It's also kind of weird because I prefer this movie over John Wick Chapter 2 and 3. But Chapter 2 and 3 are good. They're kind of like the same for me. I think one movie does one thing better, the other one does something else better. Ballerina is the lowest rated movie out of the 5. Yeah, I think it's like in the middle. I think it's like the third best. To me, it's A. It's one of the more surprises of the year. I think that, Thunderbolts, The Long Walk, like, they were more like the surprising movies of the year. This movie's pretty much great with everything. Like, the John Wick movies all have great production, great action, all that sort of stuff. I'm not complaining there. Only complaints, I think, would be the villain. And I think there's something in the story that didn't really, wasn't the greatest. I think there's some subplot, I think, with the sister or something. I don't know what it was. Otherwise, it was great. Great movie. Mickey 17, I wish I could say the same for, but it's not going to get that same amount of love, unfortunately. Which is sad. I actually wanted to watch this again earlier in the year. I didn't get to because I was busy. But I finally got to watch it because it was part of a... I was doing a, what's it called? A film project. Like, I was making a video essay project with a group from my media studies class. So we had to watch films from Bong Joon-ho. And we had to watch 3. I only got to watch Mickey 17 because I'm like, I don't have time for Parasite or Snowpiercer. But I should try watching this year. What's up, John? How you doing? And Dustin, I think I forgot to ask you how you doing. Mickey 17. Great visuals, great production, solid acting. The idea is there. Honestly, the idea is so fun. Like, that's just... Now you have an ad. Why do we have an ad? Why'd you have to give me an ad, YouTube? What the heck is this? YouTube, take off the ads, please. But, I mean, honestly, it's solid. There's something in here that I didn't like and I forgot. But otherwise, I'm just going to rank it because I want to get through this list. What happened? We wanted to let you know that the privacy setting for YouTube Short has been switched on this because the video you sampled audio has either been deleted or opted out. What short is this? Oh, I don't care, dude. Get rid of it. I don't care. That dumb short I made one day. Like, who cares? Every time I get an email from YouTube, I am always cautious about it, so... Yeah, whatever. I shall return hyped to see the final list in a bit if I don't make it. That's alright. Thank you for stopping by, Adrian. Anyways, without YouTube scaring me a bit, let's continue this ranking. Mickey 17, I'm just going to rank it. I know it's in between Rebirth and Final Reckoning. There is another movie that's higher than it. I still don't know why it's higher than it.
but it's higher than it. Oh, I forgot. Hard Eye started off November, so Mickey 17 was also in November. Star Wars Tales series have only been peaked during their first episodes. Example, season 2 Grievous scene, season 3 Obi-Wan scene. That's fair. I can't say the same for I can't say the same for Tales of the Jedi. I didn't really like the Ahsoka opening scene. Again, I don't even think she should have been in season 1. I prefer the Count Dooku stuff, obviously. I think the Count Dooku story is the best they've done for the Tales stories. But yeah, season 1 was good. Season 1 I like more than Empire. Obviously, I didn't like Tales of the Empire. And Tales of the Underworld was alright. It was kind of mid, but it had its good moments, so I'm ranking it where it's ranking it. The Cad Bane stuff I liked in Tales of the Underworld. I liked it. Sarge Venture stuff was okay, but Cad Bane stuff was good. That's for sure. Next movie on the list is Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. I don't think I know a single person that watches. Maybe Peter. Obviously, bottom 5. I mean, that's the Pooniverse. That's the trash stuff that comes from there. Bambi the Reckoning's another one. It's going to rank it at E tier. I'm not going to get through those. I don't care about those. Next one's Electric State. This is actually going to rank pretty low as well. I don't think it deserves to be E tier. I think it's D tier. It sucks. I like Chris Pratt. Millie Bobby Brown's honestly solid in it. But the movie itself is, nothing amazing. I know. I can't believe I watched War of the Worlds because it was trending in August, like early August. And I'm like, why is it trending? And then everybody hated it. I'm like, great. Another movie I can hate on. Not that I want to hate on movies when I watch them, obviously. But as Ice Cube, if you watch the studio, he's supposed to play Kool-Aid Man, but nobody here is going to understand that reference. Anyways, I liked it. I didn't like it, actually. I don't know what the hell I'm making that up from my mind. I liked Ice Cube's $1 Million reaction faces, if that counts. But the movie sucked. Sometimes I'll put myself through bad movies just so I could say I watched a bad movie that year. So, and that's if I hate it. If I didn't hate it, like Electric State got a lot of hate. I didn't like it. I thought it was mid, but I didn't hate it as much as other people did. Or like, what's another one here? Happy Gilmore 2. That's another one that most people don't like. I thought it was mid. Still don't think it's great, but I didn't hate it. Although it has its issues and should probably be lower. Brand New Day, 2.4 average on Letterboxd for some reason. Does not deserve that. Should be at least 2.6. Honestly, it's mid, but doesn't deserve to be that low. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. How far were you in it? Because I remember we talked about it once, and I remember you didn't finish it. You should finish it. I think, or if anything, maybe restart it if it's been a really long time. But I think with Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, like I said earlier, the first half wasn't great. It was kind of okay. The second half was good. I like the second half of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Live action How to Train Your Dragon is fun. The trilogy's great. I love the trilogy, and I love the live action. I don't hate it. I just love everything of all that. Oh, yeah, that episode. That episode was good. Where he got stabbed and stopped. Yeah, that's good. I think that was episode 7 or 8. No, 6, 7? I think it was episode 7 or 8. So, it's great. What else is there? Predator Killer of Killers. That's the first Predator movie that came out this year besides Badlands. Both are great. I love both of them. Killers of Killers, I think I have lower than How to Train Your Dragon, but both are good. I think I had more issues with Killers of Killers than How to Train Your Dragon. It's going to rank between How to Train Your Dragon and Sinners. Great movies, though, by the way. Sinners is great. They're all great in their own way. I love that this movie takes a different direction. It's a non-linear structure. It doesn't follow a 3x structure. It follows three different stories, three different timelines. You know, following what happened, like when the Predator hunt them down. You know, as we've seen in other movies. And then these three characters coming together to face like an ultimate Predator. I think that's cool. It's different from what we've seen. Great animation. Characters are solid. Stories are solid. Otherwise, I mean, it has its issues with certain bits and pieces, but otherwise, it's a good movie. And kicking off December, it's going to be Smiley Friends Season 3 up to Stranger Things Season 5. Smiley Friends Season 3, surprisingly, was one of the better TV seasons. I'm going to rank it between Invincible Season 3. I can't decide if it's better than Vengeance Most Foul or not. Smiley Friends Season 3 is so funny, dude. Like, Season 1 and 2 were good, but, like, there was that one episode in there, like, those one or two episodes, whereas they were, like, mid, and I didn't enjoy it as much as others. This season had, like, bangers throughout the entire season. Like, I didn't have, like, a single episode where I thought, like, okay, that was mid. Like, this had bangers throughout. And I don't know if it helped because I watched it weekly as it came out, because this is, like, one of the few shows I watched weekly. Smiley Friends, Friendly Neighborhood, Spider-Man, Win or Lose. I watched that weekly when it came out. Tis the Underworld. Other shows I didn't watch weekly, like I binged, like Alien Earth, I binged. Ironheart, I binged. Surveillance, a lot of the shows I binged. Funny humor, absurd humor. Again, it's not a kid's show. It's funny. I might rank it lower than Vengeance Most Foul, though, because it's Vengeance Most Foul. It's Feathers McGrill, but it's not better than Invincible Season 3. So, that's for sure. Megan 2.0 is trash. I don't even want to talk about it. The duology is just horrible. The first movie is a horror movie. Second movie is the exact opposite of a horror movie. I'm not even going to go into it because of how bad it was. FNAF 2. I saw this 3 times. It's in B tier. As much as people are going to disagree with that, it's in B tier. I like FNAF, so it's going to go there. I like it slightly more than the first movie. Just slightly. And it's literally, as I said to everybody I watched it with, it is very similar to the first movie with a little more horror. Debatably worse when it comes to the story, the writing, and all that stuff. It's debatably worse, but I enjoyed it more. Just a little more. I feel like maybe when the third movie comes out and I rewatch Duology back to back, properly rewatch it without being like this big fan of the games, I can kind of be like, okay, maybe the second movie is worse or maybe it stays better. Otherwise, I actually enjoyed it more than Companion. I'm sure Companion is the better written movie, obviously. I think 80% of the movies on this list, 90% are better written than FNAF 2. But I'm a FNAF fan, especially newer. I'm a newer FNAF fan, if anything. I did play the games when I was younger, but I didn't really get into it more until these past couple years. Again, I like the movie. Again, if you're a fan, you'll most likely like it. If you're not a fan, you'll most likely not like it. It's pretty much the same. Star Wars Vision Season 3, and I think this show is so weird for me because I can't find like a certain... I don't know. I can't find like a certain... this show doesn't always work for me. And it's weird because it should work for me. It's a Star Wars show. It's a Star Wars animation show. And it even has some like anime stuff to it, which I'm very slowly starting to get into like certain shows. Again, I don't want to be a big fan of anime. I don't care about it as much. Like there's some shows I want to watch for it. There's some I've already seen. Like this year I watched, besides Star Wars Visions, I watched the Scott Pilgrim show for the anniversary. I watched Berserk, definitely one of my more favorite shows. I literally just started One Piece today, which is crazy to say right now, but it's crazy, especially these decks after a couple weeks. It's gonna be a busy semester, but I started One Piece today, and it's solid. I'm enjoying it a bit. Star Wars Visions is D tier. Season 1 would be D tier.
Season 2 would be C tier. Season 3 is D tier. It's like this show, like season 2, I still thought was mid, but I can say without a doubt was better than season 1, and it was far more of an improvement. And it was nice that it wasn't anime episodes. It was nice that it had different stuff like stop motion, 3D animation, 2D animation. Like I could say like it had that. Season 3 just took a step down. Like it's pretty much season 1 with slightly better episodes. That's it. If it didn't have a couple good episodes, it would have been the worst of the show. And it's definitely not the best of this show. There's no way it's the best of the show. I think people who are saying that are crazy. Diary of a Wimpy Kid: The Last Straw. Again, these animated movies, nobody really watches them anyways. They're but just loads of mid. I mean, the animation is okay. I think with each movie, they kind of get slightly better or just a tiny bit slightly worse. The first two movies are garbage, and I think maybe that's because I compare them too much to the live action movies, which are goated. Cabin Fever, I think, came out a couple years ago. That was okay. Last Straw, again, just okay again. It's going to be in between Eyes of Wakanda and Electric State. Elio, which is the first Pixar movie I saw this year in 2025. Not in general. This is the only Pixar movie that released in 2025, obviously. Second Pixar project I saw this year. Again, that released this year. Surprisingly really good. It's going to go in B tier. I wasn't expecting it to be B tier. I was expecting it to be very mid or average or at least elemental level. This was so much better, dude. Again, if I make one of the more surprising or one of the more underrated movies of the year, this is going on it without a doubt. Yeah, pretty much. Elio, B tier. Honestly, just fun. Like, story was fun. The characters are kind of fun. Animation, just, again, regular Pixar animation. What's up, the Scunner? There's only 2025 projects. I don't know if you're Marvel Spaceman on an alt or the other guy I watched it with, but yeah, this is only just 2025 movies and shows on just only released this year. And if I'm going based off of anything I watched, that would technically count towards this year actually, because I watched it this year. This is just 2025 stuff I watched. Dexter Resurrection is next, and I did a whole Dexter marathon from August. I did New Blood, so I pretty much watched those 9 seasons leading up to Resurrection. I still haven't watched Original Sin, which I'm going to try watching this month. I'm going to try maybe starting it this week if I have time, finishing before my semester starts. I might update the top 5. As of right now, it's in A tier. It's at the top of A tier. It is the best TV show of the year, in my opinion. The best TV season of the year. There's nothing that beats it. Andor Season 2 is very close to it, though. If Andor Season 2 didn't have that dumb slow burn in the start, where it was a worse slow burn than Season 1, or if Resurrection had a little bit worse episodes, Andor Season 2 would be better for sure. But Resurrection's very good. Like, it hits the highs of, like, even some of the best seasons of Dexter, like Season 4. I don't think it's better than Season 4. I think Season 4 is going to be very hard to beat. But Resurrection is my second favorite Dexter season ever. It's good. It's really good. I'm not like a serial killer fan. Again, that's why You is the only really other show I watched. I was considering Hannibal from time to time, but I'm like, I'm not going to sit there doing that. Sometimes I couldn't stand the erotic stuff in those shows. So I'm like, if Hannibal has that, which I'm pretty sure I heard it had it, I'm not interested in watching it. So as of right now, it's off. Yeah, Season 1 is really good. Season 1 is probably like top 3. So, You's good. First 2 seasons are good. Season 5 solid. I can't really say the same for Season 3 and 4. Season 4 actually gets better towards the end, like in the second half. Season 3 I didn't really like. Season 3 was pretty mid, unfortunately. Next movie up is Karate Kid Legends. This is going to be the weirdest ranking I do, because this is literally like Happy Gilmore 2 on the list. It doesn't deserve to be this high, but I enjoyed it more than I thought. It's still going to be C tier, and it doesn't deserve to be C tier. Probably deserves to be a little lower, like
That and Happy Gilmore deserve to be lower. And like I said with Happy Gilmore too, it's very like Gen Z. It's very modern day. It's super modern day where it goes by super fast. The story, the writing itself is very much for Gen Z, and it's like it's not great. It's not a great written movie. And they pretty much like have an entirely different subplot in Karate Kid Legends where it has no relation to the movie and takes up half the movie. So where when you get up to the half where you're here for, that part's completely rushed out. So it's kind of weird. I also rewatched the Jaden Smith Karate Kid before I watched it because I watched both of them the same day. That was just mid, unfortunately. And then all the way in January, I watched the Karate Kid trilogy last year because my goal was to go from the Karate Kid trilogy to rewatching Cobra Kai and catching up with the new season to rewatching the Jaden Smith Karate Kid and then watching Legends in theaters. Once I finished Cobra Kai season 6, I literally didn't touch a single Karate Kid Cobra Kai project until December with those two. Which is pretty much shows how inconsistent I've been this entire year with stuff. Which is unfortunate. Ballerina, John Wick Ballerina. I liked it a lot more than other people because Letterboxd has a rating where it's like a 3.5 average. I give it 4.5. Like I liked it that much. Personally, I liked it more than Chapter 2 and 3. I think Chapter 2 and 3 are good as well. Like, I think they're also 4.5. I think they're both very similar in their own way because I think John Wick 2 kind of expands the world more. It gives it more world building. So it does that, with a meh villain. Chapter 3 had a worse villain, but I think the story and action was better, so I prefer that more. And then Chapter 4 was the best movie, obviously. Like I can't think of a John Wick project that's better than that. And then John Wick Chapter 1 is obviously good too. Like I like that more. Ballerina is probably like in the middle for me. I think for some people it'll be the lowest, which is totally understandable. Because this film has flaws as well. But I think I love everything John Wick. The only John Wick project I haven't seen was that Continental show on Peacock. I still haven't seen it. I wanted to watch it last year, but I didn't get the chance to, so to me it's not a big deal. So yeah, it wasn't awful. I think all the movies are good in their own way. I prefer them. I think they're good. I think they all have their really good moments. There's very few flaws. There's very few bad moments in them. So that's good. Yeah, Ballerina isn't awful. I think people are hating on it a bit too much. I'm not sure why they're hating on it too much, but it's good for what it was. And I think it's one of the more surprising movies of the year. So that's good for me. Next one up is Phineas and Ferb Season 5. Before I say anything, I did not finish the season. It's only here because I watched everything that's on Disney+. Not all the episodes are on Disney+. So I wasn't going to go pirating the rest of the season. I didn't really care to pirate it. It's going to be at the end of B tier. Still higher than Win or Lose, but I don't really have much to say about it. I should probably rewatch the show at one day if I ever have the time. But as of right now, I don't. Nor do I care to rewatch it. And Season 5 is entertaining. Has some good episodes. It has some solid episodes. It has some episodes that could have been better. But otherwise, it's decent. Then you have Steve. Another, I think a Netflix original. As Cillian Murphy. I enjoyed it. I think it's going to be B tier. I watched this when my semester ended. I think it kind of worked. Yeah, this is alright. Chad Powers, I'm going to say this from now. I added it to the list because I started like a week and a half ago or so. And I didn't even finish it, so I'm not ranking it. If I had to rank Chad Powers, it would probably be at the end of B tier right now. Like, it would literally be like here. So, or like here. Like, it's solid right now. It's funny. But again, I didn't have time to finish it. But if I did rank it right now, it's either at the end of B or at the beginning of C. Like, it's fun for what it is. I'm going to try finishing it this week as well. And then on Serialize, I'll post my full rating on it. But as of right now, it's there. K-Pop Demon Hunters is next. I did this for the watch party. I think this might have been the only watch party I did this year. Which is disappointing because I love hosting watch parties and I always want to host watch parties and I never do because I don't know why. What was the last watch party I did? Oh no, I did 2 watch parties. I did K-pop Demon Hunters a couple days before Christmas Day, and I did the Lego Batman movie in August. So that was cool. I haven't done one during any winter break yet, which is interesting. So maybe, actually no, K-pop technically counts towards that. Hey, I mean, ever since this movie was trending, I was always one of the ones that were hating on it because of it. And when I watched the movie in VC with everybody, it was fun. It was solid. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I'm gonna rank it here in front of Reacher season 3. Wait, no, wait. I think it's lower. I think it's actually lower. I think it's one lower. I think this is 84, and I think this is 83. So yeah, never mind. It's at the end of A tier. But the film itself, peak cinema. I mean, you can't really say wrong about that. You know what I'm saying? Primitive War is next. This is not a movie that people are gonna watch. This is, I mean, not for any bad reasons, of course. It's a B tier movie. It's a indie movie in a way, so it's not well known. It's not well known like Jurassic World Rebirth. And this movie also released at the end of August for a limited screening, which I don't think it should have released that late. I think it was fine for the summer. I don't think it should have been very limited, but for money costs, I'm sure it did. If you know me as someone who wants to become a feature filmmaker, screenwriter one day. This is my dream film. And as much as it has its flaws, it was a lot of fun. I mean, that's all I could say. It's going to be in C tier. It's going to be in between the Minecraft movie and Rebuild the Galaxy. It has its flaws, but man, it's a lot of fun. Like, you can't go wrong with that. You know? It's fun. I enjoyed it for what it was. Can't go wrong with it. So, that's going to be in C tier. Honestly, surprisingly great CGI and visuals for a film that's lower budget. Because I think the budget was... What was the budget? I don't remember what it was. It was like in the millions. Well, obviously most movies are in the millions. But it's in the lower millions. It's not like these modern blockbusters that are like in the 100, 200 millions. This is more like the 1 millions, the 10 millions. It was low. But honestly, a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Next we have The Paper. Paper I'm going to rank in C tier in between Final Reckoning and Happy Gilmore 2. I enjoyed it more than the rating it's being given. It's an Office spin-off. And The Office, as you guys may or may not know, is one of my favorite shows of all time. It's probably like in the top 5 and not the top 3. I just haven't had the time to rewatch the show, so unfortunately I can't really give my true ratings on the show right now, except it being one of the best and one of the funniest. I mean, it's a sitcom. It's funny for what it is. It doesn't have the highs of The Office, but it's solid. It had some solid episodes. It had some episodes that are like, okay, we could be doing better here for a season opener, but I think they're gonna definitely take some things into consideration for the next season. And again, some of these other shows I really want annual releases for. This is one of them. For the Neighborhood, Spider-Man is one of them. Invincible is one of them. I would love for Smiley Friends to be one of them. Just to release a season every year, you know, stuff like that. Bad Guys 2 is next. Bad Guys 2. This is gonna be an interesting one to rank. It is A tier. I watched Duology finally, because it's been so long. Like I haven't watched it. Also, I'm realizing the Vengeance Must Fall is higher, so that's what I'm gonna rank it. Bad Guys 2 is gonna be in between Smiley Friends season 3 and Reacher season 3. Man, I love the Bad Guys duology. It's not as good as the Zootopia duology, but the animation's gorgeous. The characters are great. The action's great. The story's a lot of fun. This is one of DreamWorks' more underrated stuff. Like one of DreamWorks' more underrated projects. So it's It's honestly nice to see it here. Um, I'm pretty sure the only DreamWorks projects I watched this year was Dogman and Bad Guys 2. I don't think I watched anything else. I don't recall. I mean, obviously the first Bad Guys movie, and I watched Captain Underpants as well, but that was pretty mid. Otherwise, that was pretty much everything I watched. Next is Alien Earth. This is such a weird one to rank. And one battle after another too. I might as well rank them together. They pretty much have the same ratings anyways, and I think these two might be controversial ones. And if you saw one battle after another, it's acclaimed to be one of the better movies of the year, one of the best movies of the year. And again, if you guys know, the Golden Globes were yesterday, they got a lot of rewards from the Golden Globes. Unfortunately, I don't think the movie is that good. Show itself is also a little mid, unfortunately, for season 1. Like, if you watch the Alien universe, you're going to want to see the Xenomorph. Like, if you watch an Alien project, period, you're there for the Xenomorph, you're there for the horror, you're there for the kills. This show has some of that, but also relies a lot of this on the story with the synthetics. And also relies on a story with other alien creatures in that universe outside the Xenomorph, which doesn't really make sense. Sure, you can have them, but sometimes it almost felt like they were centerpieces, and the Xenomorph was kind of like a side thing they put on the side, like, hey, this is like an idea of a show we have, and we're going to brand it to be an alien brand so more people could watch it. So we're going to have the Xenomorph on the side for a little bit until where it needs to be for plot reasons, and we're going to focus on some of these other monsters and synthetics. Production value was great, visuals were great, acting was solid, otherwise it's kind of mid, unfortunately. And it's one of the more weaker Alien and Predator projects for me. Like, it doesn't reach anywhere as good as Killer of Killers or Badlands, unfortunately, which you guys will see where they rank soon. Otherwise, Alien Earth is going to be pretty low. Scunner, what do you think of Ironheart? I want to know your thoughts on Ironheart. You may or may not like where I put it. That's why I'm asking. Alien Earth. I think just for production alone, it's probably the end of B tier. I think it's going to be the end of B tier. Past E. So, like, bottom 5. That's where you think Ironheart is? And then one battle after another. Has similar stuff. Like, the action's solid. The visuals are solid. The acting's solid. But the movie doesn't really have much else for me to enjoy. Again, I don't like politics. It has political messaging in there I don't care about. The story itself, even without the political messaging, isn't really like my cup of tea. It's supposed to be a revenge story, yet decides to be the exact opposite of a revenge story. So, to me, it's not really that great. It doesn't really do it great for me. I know everybody's going to be like, oh, it should be top 5, it should be A tier. It's at the end of B. You're lucky to get at the end of B. If anything, it should be C, you know? It's lucky to be where it is now. Stranger Things Season 5. This is for Season 5 alone. This is not the finale. If we did the finale, it's going to be at the top of C tier. If we're doing the season itself. And this is where I disagree with my own rating. Like, right now, I don't even agree with it being this high. I want to rank it lower. Like, I wanted to rank some of the ratings lower today. And I didn't really care about changing it right now. But right now, Stranger Things Season 5 is here. Although it does not deserve to be. I'll tell you that now. I think literally the first Season 1, 3, and 4 would be in A tier. And then Seasons 2 and 5 would be in B tier if I had to rank them. I think Season 5 easily, the problem with Season 2 is that would be in A tier as well if it wasn't for that one dumb episode. Episode 7, I think it was. Because I did my calculations, and yeah, it would have, ranked higher. This would have definitely been the lowest season. But, I don't know. We'll see if I change my ratings around for Season 2 and Season 5. I'm not sure if I'm going to change it up, lower my ratings. For this stream, right now to this day, it is at the top of B. as the year goes on, or as the month goes on, it will probably be lower in B. As of right now, it's here. But even coming from someone who's putting it in B, like I enjoyed Daredevil Born Again more, I enjoyed Elio more, I enjoyed FNAF 2 more for crying out loud. There's even parts of You Season 5 and Tales of the Underworld that I enjoyed more. You know, even Alien Earth for crying out loud. Like this season has like the lowest of the low for the show. So the fact I'm rating it this high is probably it's in itself, but that's where it ranks. Then we have weapons. It's gonna be in between Elio and Naked Gun. Definitely one of the more surprising horrors, because again, horror doesn't always hit for me, but it was solid. I can't really complain. Next to FNAF to the right. This is Compania. This is a movie. It came out in January 2025. It has Jack Quaid. It's about a girlfriend robot. It's a decent movie. It's decent. I mean, it's nothing amazing. It's nothing horrible. It's kind of just in the middle. Weapons I like though. I think the first half. I think again this is also kind of like non-linear narrative here. I think similar to Killers of Killers in a way. Gave me some of those vibes. Just seeing different characters, seeing their different stories and POVs. I think once we got up to the introduction of the villain and onward, I think that's where the movie lost me. And I don't like witches. I think they're evil. And I think the villain being like that in the movie itself is bad to me. I think they could have done it in a better way, in my opinion. Or they don't really say she is one, but the stuff she does makes it seem like she is. So I can't really, Well, Weapons is fine. It's solid. I liked it. Ironheart. This is what everybody's been waiting for. My gosh, is this show horrible? Well, spoiler alert, it's an E tier. I don't think it's bottom 5 of the year. And speaking of which, we can do our bottom 5 of the year, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, we can. I think technically, yeah, these two would line up with bottom 5. Yeah. Alright, that's pretty much it. I couldn't really finish bottom 5 yet until I did my ranking, but I just realized that I definitely watched more of the better stuff than the trash stuff at the end of the year, except Ironheart. I know there's some people out there that I know that glaze Ironheart. I won't say any names, but you know who you are. And I tried giving the show a chance. I thought the first half was okay. It was a little mid, but it was okay. That second half was so bad. I can't fathom. I can't. The second half was bad, dude. That finale was one of the worst MCU show finales I've ever seen in my life. It sucked. I get that people are like, oh, I'm hyped up to see Mephisto and all that sort of stuff. Fine, if you like Mephisto, if you like that sort of stuff, you do you. Oh yeah, Weapons is the start of the January rankings as well, and I think Smiley Friends was the start of December. Not that that matters right now. Ironheart sucked, dude. My gosh. And I was so willing to give the show a chance, because I seen all the hate for it, and I know the reasons why people hate it. And I don't go to shows to hate for those reasons. Obviously, if you're someone who knows me and you want to try to criticize me saying that I do that, and again, you know who you are, but I don't do that, I make opinions based off of what I watch and how much I enjoy them and how much I follow through the story. Is the story good? Is the story entertaining? Is it enjoyable? That's what I'm looking for. Do these characters develop? Do these characters grow? Is the story good enough? Riri doesn't grow. If anything, she downgrades in the story. None of the characters are likable or enjoyable. The story itself isn't even enjoyable. And this is coming from Ryan Coogler, which I love the Black Panther duology. I like Sinners. And this is what I said earlier. Like, I like Ryan Coogler, but this was not it. This was not it. This is coming from someone who hates it for the reasons why people. Wait, no. Before I word that wrong, Peop- there's people out there that hate it for certain reasons. I'm not that type of person. I hate it for other reasons, story reasons, character reasons. So if you want to call me certain things because I hate the show, then that is your problem, and you're clearly pulling that from your butt. But I do not like this show. Simple as that. And it's not the worst MCU show. That goes to She-Hulk and Secret Invasion. I think it might be the bottom 3 MCU show. He produced Ironheart. He didn't direct it. He produced it. Which, if he produced it, he's pretty much behind a good amount of the show, especially since he directed Wakanda Forever, and this kind of takes place after Wakanda Forever, which I did rewatch this year, and I do like it as well. I should have watched this in November when I finished rewatching Wakanda Forever, but I waited too long, so it's kind of like whatever. So next is Nobody 2. It's gonna rank B tier as well. I'm gonna rank it between Win or Lose or Alien Earth. I like the duology. The first one is better in my eyes. This second movie, it's kind of like FNAF duology. They're similar in a way, but one movie I prefer more than the other. I can't say the same for the second movie for this one, unfortunately, but it's still solid. Story slightly worse. Actions, I think everything is just slightly worse, but it's not bad, and it flopped. I don't really know if we're going to get a third movie. And I wanted to watch the duology as well because I was going to start Better Call Saul this month because I finished Breaking Bad and El Camino September of 2023, and it's been 2 years and I still haven't started Better Call Saul. I started 2 episodes of Better Call Saul the month after, and then I put the show on pause for a long time because I didn't have time to finish it, and it's been on pause for 2 years. Breaking Bad is my favorite show of all time, if we're not counting The Office. El Camino is honestly underrated, but it is a bit of a slow burn for a movie. And I don't really know why it was made. It's not necessary, but it wasn't bad. Better Call Saul, I still need to watch. I started Walking Dead on my birthday 2 weeks ago. So, because of how long that show is, and because of how busy of a semester I'm going to have, and a few other shows I'm going to watch in between, I think starting Better Call Saul right now as well isn't the greatest idea. So what I'm trying to do is when I get up to the final couple seasons of Walking Dead, or maybe when I finish it completely in the spring, then I'm going to move on to Better Call Saul. Which, it's not leaving Netflix anytime soon, so I don't have to worry. So, we're good. But yeah, Nobody 2 is solid. Surveillance Season 2. This is actually solid as well. I watched Season 1. They're both good in their own way. Like, I think they're very similar in rating. I'm going to give it... It's an 8.5 out of 10 I gave it. Which one? I think this show is so well written. The production's great, visuals are great, acting's great, characters are honestly not that bad. Story's great, but this show leaves you with more questions asked than answered, and I think that's the intention of the show, at least with the first season. But this show is so well done. Like, people say it's like the Andor of Apple TV in a way, and I totally agree. I think that's a really good take. I'm not gonna argue with that. Can't even start Walking Dead. That's like trying to start One Piece. Oh, I started One Piece today. Walking Dead I started 2 weeks ago. Finished it like a couple days after. It's been like 2 weeks, and I still haven't started season 2. I was supposed to start season 2 a couple days ago. I did start it, but I fell asleep watching, so I haven't finished the episode yet. But my goal is to do 2 seasons of Walking Dead a month. And then One Piece I started today, which I'm not finishing that show anytime soon, I'll tell you that now. I'm only watching the first 91 episodes. I'm 3 episodes in. Finished the Romance Dawn arc. Yeah, too many episodes. Yeah. And yeah, it's a big fan base. And I'm not an anime person either. So, like, the only anime I saw this year, Star Wars Vision Season 3, which I didn't like. Scott Pilgrim, the show, I didn't really like. And Berserk, I watched the 90s Berserk show, which I actually liked. If I ranked it here, it would be top of B. I liked Berserk. I still want to watch Finland Saga. That's been on my watch list for a couple years now.
Attack on Titan I still want to watch. Death Note I still want to watch. There's just like, when it comes to anime for me, I'm not an anime fan, but there's a few out there that interest me or that are very popular and they're very well written, very good shows. I'm like, I'd be willing to give a chance. This is one of them. And I watched the Netflix One Piece already. I watched it when it dropped in 2023. So I want to rewatch the show and be ready for season 2 when it drops. So I'm trying to watch whatever the first 2 seasons cover in Netflix and then watching that in anime form. And then I got an ad. These darn ads. I don't like getting ads. Anyways. And then once I caught up to that, I would just put the show on pause and continue it whenever season 3 comes out. So, but yeah, that's cool. The F1 I watched as well. Again, another popular movie of the year. I'm gonna put it between Surveillance season 2 and Reacher season 3. It's good. This is the same guy that directed Top Gun Maverick. Same for, I think, the Brave movie. Not for the Brave movie. I think For the Brave or Into the Brave. I forget what it was called. He directed Tron Legacy. He directed a few other ones. I never watched his filmography before, and I know he did really good in Top Gun Maverick. I'm sure with everything. This movie is great. The racing is great. The production, the visuals, the story is honestly solid. The characters, I think, is what the weakest part of the movie. Because he knows how to do all the action, he knows how to write all the action, but the story itself, the characters themselves aren't the greatest. So, but the racing is great. The action is great. I can't really go wrong about that. Zootopia 2 is next. This is another top 5 movie of the year. What can I say? I liked the Zootopia 1. This movie is pretty much similar in a way with structure and everything, except I preferred Zootopia 2 better for its character moments, its better villain twist, and probably its animation, even though the animation is very similar. Otherwise, I liked it. It's honestly not bad, and I enjoyed it for what it was. So, I appreciate that. If you haven't seen it already, I would go see it, especially if you're a fan of the first movie. Who are the main voices in Zootopia? I don't know. I forgot the voice actor names, but I know the fox is named Nick and the rabbit's named Judy. And then K. Kwan plays a snake. I think he was the guy from Love Hurts. Definitely better seeing him in Zootopia 2 than Love Hurts, that's for sure. But again, fun movie overall. And this is the highest rated domestic animated movie of the year and in general, so I better see more Zootopia movies. I'm going to need like 10 more of those. Like, they should make more of them. I don't know why they waited 9 years to make a sequel. You know? It's weird. Anyways, Welcome to Derry is going to go in B tier. And this irritates me so much. There's one episode in the show that is mid. The rest of it is solid and great for what it is. And if anything, it should be the highest in B tier. But with my ratings, it's in between Stranger Things Season 5 and Daredevil Born Again. Again, when I lower my Stranger Things Season 5 rating, it's going to be lower, so Welcome to Derry and Born Again will be higher. Welcome to Derry is horror. Honestly, better than the movies and more scary than the movies. Not by much, but more scarier. Yeah, not really A-tier actors. Well, kind of A-tier actors in a way. But not like... Or it's not like it's like... I don't know what to think of. It's not like Michael B. Jordan or something voicing him, or Adam Scott voicing him. The actors, I guess if you... I don't know. They're good voice actors, though, I will say. Predator Balance is also the final movie to reach, or the final thing to reach the top 5. This movie was so good. I literally watched it a couple days ago. Great stuff. My favorite Predator movie, my favorite movie in the Alien and Predator franchise, which I wasn't expecting to overrank Aliens in the first Alien or the first Predator, but it was able to do it somehow, and I don't know how I did it. the Dan who made Prey, Killers of Killers, and Badlands needs to take over the Predator franchise because it was great. And great movie, great story. I love following the species, the predator species, as like this. I guess this main guy Deck as the main protagonist. You even get like the synthetic in here, or the synthetics in general, because every other character in here besides him is synthetics. So it gives you those alien vibes because where do you see synthetics? Only an alien. And look at that. We watched Alien Earth, where the show is pretty much almost centered around synthetics. That works out. Ellie Fanning is a blast in this movie. She's great. I want to see her in more stuff. Is that the Superman with the new Green actor movie I won? Yes, it is. Hot take, my only 5-star movie or show released this year. Surprisingly. It's really good. I recommend it, especially if you've seen Superman before. It's really good. Predator Balance, again, great in everything. I think the thing with Dan's movies, I think his third acts are a little underwhelming or not as good as they should be. Like Prey, I think with the Amber actress, and she's also Novocaine. She also kind of defeats the Predator too easily. Killers of Killers have some third act inconsistency issues, and Predator Balance, Deck also kind of goes after his father in a way where it kind of is quick. And also the other third act also kind of makes you forget that the story is also based around a revenge plot, so, or a first hunt sometimes. So otherwise it's a fantastic movie. Batman over Superman, totally valid, because one day I'm more Batman, one day I'm more Superman. Recently this year I've been more Superman, but I like your take, totally valid. And yeah, that's my top 5. I really want to make a top 7 just to put Dexter Resurrection and/or season 2 in there. But yeah, that's pretty much that. The last project. Finally. Oh my gosh, my throat's hurting. After all this yapping away for 2 hours, however long I've been streaming for. My goodness. The last show on this list. The last movie was Predator Balance. The last show is The Studio. It is in between F1 and The Reacher Season 3. Studio is so funny, dude. My gosh, it was one of the funniest shows I watched this year. I mean, Malcolm in the Middle is really funny. I watched that this year because I thought the Revival show was coming out at the end of the year. It wasn't, unfortunately. But that was one of the funnier ones. And for me, The Studio, that was a lot of fun. I really like The Studio. It's literally like a sitcom or comedy show based off of like different producers and creative executives and actors. It has cameos from real life actors as well. Again, this is another show where I talked about like, oh, we need to get annual releases, like how Invincible, Smiley Friends should be. I think, yeah, all those. The Studio should be one of those shows, in my opinion. Fantastic show. The last one is Chad Powers. My rating for Chad Powers is not complete. I only watched the first 2 episodes and I haven't went back to it. The revive has to hit. I pray they don't miss with MITM. What's MITM? I'm forgetting. I probably know and I'm like blanking out. Chad Powers, if I had to rank it, it's probably going to be here. Like at the lower end of B tier. But unfortunately, I didn't finish it. So, oh no, I can't. Shoot. Oh, Malcolm in the Middle, yeah. Oh, Malcolm in the Middle, that's fire. I had to put the show on pause. I was in the middle of season 7 because I wanted to catch up with some other stuff. But otherwise, it was fine. I think for now, I'm gonna put Chad Powers there because I haven't finished it. But this is my official ranking for all 2025 movies and shows. I'm happy. It's honestly a solid ranking. This is pretty much it. But yeah, Malcolm in the Middle, I'm excited to wrap it up sometime this year and get to the Revival show. Again, like I talked about with some of these revival shows, movies, reunions, you make something years later, they're always going to mess up something or they're going to add something that nobody's going to like. I'm worried that Malcolm in the Middle is going to do the same thing. Which sucks because I love the show so far. It's great.
One of my favorite sitcoms. W ranking. I'm gonna walk my dog, bro. See you in the cinema, VC. See you, bro. Have a good one. God bless. I'm about to end the stream anyway, so it's alright. Yeah, that's my ranking. We got the top 5. We got everything in A tier. We got everything in B tier, C tier, D tier, E tier, and the bottom 5 of the year. Whew. That was a long, that's what she said, long stream, long ranking. How long have I been streamed for? Jeez, bro, 2 hours. I'm pretty sure the last time I did this last year, it took 2 hours as well. So, that's cool. Oh, I've been live for 2.5 hours. Wow. That's crazy. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me on this stream. Thank God I finally got it done. Thank you, Lord. And next year, in January, I'll be doing one for every 2026 film and show I watched, which this month I should have the Primal done, because Primal has a new season. So I should have Primal Season 3 done. And I should have Mercy done most likely. Other than those two, this should be it. And then I don't think there's going to be anything until February and March. Because again, I think the first few months are going to be a little slow when it comes to 2026 stuff. And then eventually, as the year progresses, I'll get to more of them. But yeah, this is my official ranking for every 2025 movie and show. This list might be longer than last year's. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. If you guys want to follow me on Letterboxd and Serialized, you guys should. I'm actually going to pull it up right now. As you guys can see, it's my Letterboxd. Right here, when it loads up. Right here, if you guys want to give it a follow. If you guys haven't already, made a post like, hey, I'm streaming. I pretty much have been consistent this entire month. So yeah, it's so far so good. I'm not going to say that the rest of the month's going to be consistent like this, because the next 2 weeks I got to prepare for a busy semester. I want to make a return to YouTube a little bit. I also got to plan out what I'm going to do for YouTube. I just also want to do better things for me in my life personally. So I can't really say I'm going to do too much for Letterboxd and Serialized. And then for Serialized, this is where we're at. Again, I started One Piece today. I didn't get to finish Chat Bars. I got to start Walking Dead Season 2 soon. But I did technically start. I just have to finish the opening episode. And again, I have my 2025 ranking list. If you guys are interested in seeing that, you guys can. And if you guys want to follow my Letterboxd or Serialized, make sure to do so. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me in this stream. Thank you everybody for joining me. Have an amazing day. God bless you. Jesus loves you. And have a good one.